Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off while we were shooting, but I think Blurple probably will win just from sheer numbers because if it's like 25% of the room, then well, it has to win, right? But what's it called? Baloney's not for like 2 weeks, so don't put this in the video if it doesn't win. If it does win, put it in the video.
A couple of uploads ago on this channel, we made a video titled Amethyst is Broken. Cut to today, we're making this video talking about how Amethyst is not all it's chalked up to be. In this video, we are breaking down all of the things that have happened in the meta since our last video. From seeing, Thiago top SSG and CCS back to back with Amethyst Steel, asserting that Amethyst dominance while all Blurple top cuts were surrounding him, right? Then cut to the emergence of Emerald Sapphire, the re-emergence of Amber Steel. This meta is all over the place, and now we have a healthy 50-50-50-50 win rate spread against these big four in the metagame. So we talk all about it. What does it mean? What does it mean for you if you're someone who's going to Bologna, Milwaukee, and beyond? Even set champs coming up around the corner. We get into all of it. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Dick will be at Bologna, so we also talk about that. And hopefully you guys enjoy the discussion. A couple of weeks ago, we put out a video, and the title, I think, literally says, Amethyst is broken, which, if you've been watching the channel for a long time, you know I have a lot of fun with what we would call clickbait. But that video, we talked about the sheer strength of Amethyst coming in hot, really hot off the press, off of Fabled. Cards like Dumbo, reprints for Hades, really allowing things like Blurple to dominate this metagame, but also taking it another way. Cards like Elsa 5 allowing Amethyst Steel to do well as well. So it was just kind of Amethyst everywhere. And Amethyst was really, really dominating for a long time. Cut to a couple weeks later, right? Amethyst isn't really the talk of the town anymore. I think there's a lot of new builds. Even currently, at the time of recording this, we're coming up on DLC Bologna. I'm not so confident that Amethyst is going to take Bologna anymore like I once was. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. What do you want to say just kind of as a jumping off point for us?
Well, I mean, we told you so. I don't know. I think the biggest points we made in that prior video were the best players wanted to play Amethyst because they like having agency at all times. People wanted to play with Dumbo, so obviously they were going to play Amethyst. And, that was just like a good starting point in the metagame. And once people figured out where the metagame was settling, people could start, gaming against that. So, like, I think we could start with, hey, the best players wanted to play Amethyst decks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy, he topped with Blurple, right?
Yep.
At SSG. The following weekend, he topped with Emerald Sapphire
Right.
at CCS, right? And on his podcast, he said that he brewed that deck Friday night. So it's just like, obviously, if you are a very good player like he is, you can kind of play any deck,
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to where I was saying, where like, well, the best players are going to win more often than not. And he proved it with multiple decks, different weekends. And then, on the whole thing of like, well, the metagame needs to figure itself out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Thiago dominance.
Oh, yeah.
The Thiago dominance happened, right? Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him. Awesome person. And now people are playing things like Heads Held High. Right. So like, and Blurple decks are throwing in like 4 Elephant and stuff like
Right.
that. Like Elephant alone shuts down Amethyst Steel so hard sometimes.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it right now. We're going to do like a good housekeeping video in the future, but I went to Ink. I 2-0'd every Amethyst Steel player I played, and most of that was just playing an Elephant on turn 3 and them going,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
And
oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, no, it's all good. And I was just gonna say, and then Sky, of course, won with Amber Steel, and that was an Amber Steel final. So, hey, Amber Steel, best deck ever made. and then Amber Steel dead. Blurple best deck ever made. And then Amber Steel back, so it's like constantly evolving, which is what metagames should do.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree with you on all of your points. I think especially going back just to the beginning where like good players are going to make, any deck work, as under, most circumstances is true. And to kind of back that up and also to kind of help guide us through this discussion, I want to point everyone's attention here to this spreadsheet. Basically, I saw this via Lorcana Justice on Twitter. I believe he says he gets some of his info from like ink decks and things like that, so all credit to where credit is due. But we can see clearly in this spread when we look at the overall of our sort of big four now that Emerald Sapphire has emerged in response to Blurple being so dominant, as well as aggro basing off of Sky's Win kind of seeing a resurgence. All of these decks, right? So like, excuse me, Blurple 53% overall win percentage. Amethyst Steel 52%. Amber Steel aggro 50%. Emerald Sapphire 52%. You know what I mean? So like, sure, technically does Amethyst have a slightly higher win percentage, or like is it a little more represented because it's in two different decks? Sure, but I think what we've really been able to see here is that once again, I don't know how they continue to do it, Ravensburger has made an incredibly balanced metagame, and it did take some time, those first initial weeks while we were still figuring things out, kind of like the Tiago back-to-back CCS and SSG wins. It was like, oh no, yeah, but this is crazy, this is the most top cuts. It's also the deck that was being played the most. Yeah, I think now things have sort of calm down a bit and we can kind of see some more decks arise. So I think personally, as someone who's playing Amethyst and still learning, as this is my first TCG, haven't said that in a while, I'm scared of bringing Blurple actually. So I think it's valuable that we have you here, Mr. Burns, because while we'll talk about the specifics of Ink Inc later, you played Blurple at Ink Inc, and do you remember how many players it was?
I don't. It was a ton.
It was a lot of people.
We were separated into two large rooms. It was so many people.
And how many rounds was it?
9.
Not yeah. So I mean that tells you in and of itself.
I didn't play the last 2 rounds. So someone did snap a photo of me taking a nap for 2 hours.
but that is to say, when you could have, even if it was 7 to 9 rounds of a tournament, there was a ton of people there. So even to make top 16, I think you were like you and Ben were like first and third or something after Swiss, something crazy. So that's to say you've played an Amethyst deck, specifically Blurple, which is seeing the most play right now. So you are a good person to base off of how powerful, do you think this color still is? Which, speaking of, you are going to DLC Bologna next week, correct?
I am. Yes.
Can you tell everybody?
By the time they see this,
you'll be flying to Italy.
Yeah, you might be there already.
So can you tell us, are you confidently playing Amethyst in Bologna?
I am not confident in anything right now, but if I can't figure out the format, I would probably just play Blurple. Honestly, It is just so consistent. Here's the problem right now is, well, for one, I'm not going to play a deck that doesn't have agency all the time.
Yeah,
like even when I have an empty board, I feel like, okay, I've at least got a shot to come back if I'm playing Blurple, whereas something like Amber Steel might be the most like top-down powerful deck at the moment. Sky thinks that it's absolutely broken, but he feels fortunate, and I agree with him that most players are not very good. So that's keeping it in check, But when someone can like clear your whole board and you just draw like Strength of a Raging Fire, 1-drop Aurora, Troubadours, all this junk late game, then you're kind of out of it. You can't really get too behind in that deck, and that's just not something that I want to do when I have to play like however many rounds this is. I can't remember. It's like 13
maybe?
or 12.
Yeah,
it's a lot of rounds. The other issue though with Blurple is like I'm gonna miss ramp something like 15% of the time, and I just lose those games as well. Yeah. So this format right now for me, it's a rough one. All you said it. All the percentage points for all the decks are super close. Those aren't the kinds of formats that I thrive in. Okay, I want to like Ink. I knew I was gonna crush that tournament. And what's funny is I didn't even care about the tournament. We'll talk about that later. But I just went there, to see some friends, and I just felt great all day. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right now I have no idea.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's frustrating to be frank. Luckily, I just want to go to Italy and hang out with people. Like that's the big driving factor. I'm not really, no matter what it seems, I'm not like a huge grinder. I do like going on vacation though, and I do like experiencing new things. And it just so happens that I'm fortunate enough that I can play Disney Lorcana while I do those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a head scratcher. I think it's one of those things where, like, if I was playing, Bologna next week, as you are, I would be scared of bringing Blurple. But funnily enough, I think the thing about this meta is that it does change so fast that, like, come DLC Milwaukee here in the States, Blurple might be good again. Right.
It could be a whole new format. Yeah. So, like, one of the reasons to be afraid to play Blurple is it's enemy number one right now. Right. So not only did people possibly include cards that are specifically beating your deck, which is never a good feeling.
Right.
Like when you run into someone and you're like, they play something, you go, oh, that card is only good against me. And you're only going to play me 1 in 4 rounds, like play against my deck 1 in 4 rounds. And I'm going to lose to it right now. Oh my gosh. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
2, when people are playtesting, they are almost always just like sitting down with a friend and saying, hey, I want to try this deck. I want you to play Blurple, Amethyst Steel, or Amber Steel. So, like, there could be a huge benefit to playing either Emerald Sapphire, where there's a bunch of different builds of it, and people aren't necessarily playtesting against it as much right now.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a huge benefit in playing something that's not in these 4 decks that we're even talking about.
Right.
Like, if you can just figure out something that really takes advantage of at least 3 of these decks, and you get good pairings, you could win a DLC.
Well, I tell you, I think like one of the decks that's not on here, represented and being most played is green yellow dogs, green yellow under the sea, right? There's a lot of different ways.
Sea dogs.
Yeah, the sea dogs. Yeah. Those scallywags. There's that could crush Blurple, depending on how you build it. That's scary to go against, but it's not really something where, like, some people, like, I think even in, like I referenced Lorcana Justice, in some of his tweets, I've seen him say, like, despite how hard people are trying, it seems green yellow is not going to happen. Green steel has been a big sleeper this set. However, I've been seeing some builds lately where you have that max goof that brings back your strength, and then your opponent, you have Chromacon out, your opponent banishes something, and then you keep bouncing back that max goof, bringing back that strength. You know what I mean? And it's like you could bounce your own characters with Chromacon. So, like, I think I've seen a lot of Chromacon shenanigans. I think that's the thing, right? So I think Bologna in particular, not going to be a good place to be Amethyst or to be Blurple, I think. But naturally, once it looks like Blurple or even just Amethyst as a whole has quelled, which is kind of looking like now, it's kind of calmed down, I think it's going to come back for something like Milwaukee. So I don't know. I mean, are we really just going in circles here, or do you think that we're going to kind of settle on something come set champ season and there's going to be a clear dominator here?
Well, I do think set champs will probably be like somewhat of a different metagame than the people that are going to a DLC. Sure. And we're going to talk about that in a whole other video. We have like 4 videos lined up.
4 videos in the pipeline. Yeah.
It's just I'm traveling a lot. I'm sorry.
And I got sick.
But like, someone that's going to DLCs, they are definitely going to own 4 Dumbos if they want to play Dumbo.
Correct.
Someone who's going to set champs might just be like, forget that. I'm playing for whatever this promo is worth. these Dumbos are probably worth 4 times what these promos are worth. Yeah, I'm not buying them just to win this, you know. So that's gonna be a whole different beast. But I do think that it is. I don't remember who I had this conversation with recently, where I think if you never added or removed a card from a card pool and gave the world 5 years, the metagame would probably still change monthly.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, oh well, now this is the best. Well, then this is back. Well,
Right.
oh, we're not seeing any of this kind of effect. This is back. Like that Emerald Steel deck that you're talking about. You know, the whole idea behind that was, man, the first person to draw 2 strength usually wins in the steel mirrors, right?
Right.
Well, what if I have infinite strengths? So like, you know, but then if a Chromacon deck, not the best against Amber Steel, right? You go,
Mhm.
oh, you played a uninkable item that does nothing because I'm not ever challenging you. Cool. I'll just keep questing for 7, 8, 10. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so I do think that is just basically a dog chasing its tail in a circle. That's what I think Disney Lorcana metagame has been for most of Disney Lorcana's existence.
I'm surprised you didn't say the fox chasing the rabbit.
Yeah, I get yelled at for saying that so often.
In our comment section, somebody was like, "Tell
Yeah.
Burns we're not in set 2 anymore."
Yeah, but it was funny because I said it on a podcast. And listen, like this is not part of the TFM umbrella, obviously. So I don't assume that the same people are watching both things.
Right,
You know?
right.
So sorry if I get redundant sometimes. I'm just trying to give the best information I can to every single person I talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's fun. It's fun seeing the meta change and evolve, and I really like hats off to Ravensburger for, you know, how well Fabled has gone, at least in terms of its metagame. More comments on other things in other videos. But seriously, you know what I mean? Like, it really is impressive to see how every time something goes sideways, we are so quickly able to either get a ban or get something changed. And in this case, you know, outside of the first, week or two, there weren't any calls for bans, which is great. You know, some people were like, maybe we'll need, you know, a ban for Amethyst. And I think with time, it's proven that, like, hey, we just needed to get some chefs in the kitchen. Now we're all in the kitchen. We're cooking and we're serving up some hot meals. So I'm excited to see what's going to come out of DLC Bologna. Hopefully some really tasty lasagna.
No, it's
Italy.
It's DLC. Well, no, but we're in Bologna, so you have to eat bologna.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Also, I think we're gonna put up a screenshot from a Lorcana villain video because I found the thing we were talking about, and Emerald Sapphire was the second most played deck at a major tournament, which is massive. I don't think anyone could have ever predicted this. Yeah, aside from like maybe us saying that Amethyst won't be like the most dominant thing, but you know, but no, like 2 weeks ago, it didn't seem like that was a possibility.
Right.
So it is nice to see the metagame evolving, settling in, innovating. It's nice to see the community not really freaking out so much and calling for things to be banned. So
cooler heads prevail. Yeah, no, I totally agree, and it's I've really been loving this format. I'm not gonna lie. I was nervous at first, but I think after, you know, the dust has settled a bit, it's fun. And I'm having a great time, and I'm really excited to see the results that come out of it. Is there anything else big on the meta right now that you want to kind of tackle? Stop playing aggro. I don't want to face it. That's just my personal take. I don't want to play against it.
I don't think so, especially because I really haven't gotten into a ton of testing. Even before Ink, my testing involved looking at all the cards and pulling the 60 I thought were the coolest and putting them in a deck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like that. Round 1 was like my first game I had with Blurple.
Dude, I hate you, and I know our viewers hate you. I know there's gonna be so many people like me that are like, I've been testing so much, throwing my head against the wall.
Well, I have to start testing tomorrow, actually.
And this guy's like, yeah, top 16 to like 9-round event. Didn't even play test. It's like, listen, folks, some people just got it, okay? But we can get it too. You can learn. You can learn, and yeah, you gotta have the right pairings. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Best of luck to you in Bologna. you. I'm so excited to recap that on the channel soon, and to, you know, see everything that's going on over there. I think it's really cool. And then Milwaukee, which will both be there. So get ready. If you haven't, check the Eventbrite, by the way. Tickets are going live all the time, even if it is just for attendee badges. I saw some more drop the other day, so you truly never know. All right, that's gonna be it from us. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and of course, leave us a comment down below. What are you thinking? Are you still an Amethyst die-hard fan, blurple till the day you die, like me, or are you someone who's thinking of switching decks, switching it up, trying something rogue like Emerald Steel or Sapphire Steel allies, or, you know, are you sticking to the tried and true Amethyst? Do you like the, you know, kind of counter meta Emerald Sapphire? We want to hear it. It only helps me know what to play later. No, but seriously, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.